You guys are going to love this promise today. It's a promise of faith. Promise of faith. How many have been enjoying the promises? You've been writing them down? Okay, after a whole year, you should have a promise for everything. And then you just go back and read your promise to refresh your faith, your memory, your healing, your strength, whatever it is that you need. This is a promise of faith. Jeremiah 17:7 starts off and says, "But blessed are those who trust in the Lord and have made the Lord their hope and confidence." So to get the first part of this promise, you have to have trust in the Lord. It's funny, we're going to be talking about trust today. And you have to have hope in the Lord. And you have to have confidence. Confidence that says, I can, I will, and I know that I can do all things through Christ. And then we go on to the end and says, now, here's the thing. First of all, to receive this promise of faith, you have to have confidence and trust and hope in God. And then God describes your character. He describes your character of someone who has hope, of someone who has confidence, and of someone who trusts. Now listen, you can't just have one of them. You got to have all three of them. So if you have all three of them, then you move on over to 8, and 8 says, they are like trees planted along the riverbank with roots that reach deep into the waters. The wise man built his house upon the rocks. And when the rain comes down, the wise man's house did get washed ashore. The tree that is rooted and that's planted deep shall stand in the midst of adversity, shall stand in the midst of a storm, and ye will not be moved. And it says, he describes you as a tree planted along a riverbank with its roots that reach deep into the water. That means you go beyond the soil, beyond the rock, back into the water. Such trees are not bothered by the heat. Woo! How many facing heat? It comes every day, huh? But if you're one of them trees that have trust and hope and confidence, the promise of faith in God, and your roots go beyond the soil into the water, when the heat comes, it will not scorch you. It will not drain you. It will bother you. It will burn you, but it won't destroy you. And he says, such trees are not bothered by the heat or worried about long months of drought. Lord, how long? Not long, but just a little longer. He says, and their leaves stay green. That means you are constantly full with God, giving out the word to all those that come by, that have been scorched, that have been drought, that is in need. You will continue to feed because you have hope, you have faith, and you have confidence. You are a tree that's planted into a river of water. And he says that they will never stop producing fruit. You will never stop producing fruit. Isn't that important? That we continue to bear the fruit of which God has given us. That is called your promise of faith. Hallelujah. We finished up and I gave a little recap of the 3 things: time, desire, and energy. And I wanted to move on to part 2, which is our obedience in friendship with God. And I want to move forward. So I'm going forward with the opening of obedience. Now, after we have complained and whined and kicked and screamed, guess what? We still got to go do what God has told us to do. We still got to go do what God has asked us to do. You see, every time God starts with giving you a task, he's going to ask you first before he tells you. You see, he told Joshua, wake up. Today your servant Moses is dead. And I'm going to need you to be strong and courageous and take these people across the Jordan. So he requested him. And instead of Joshua saying, yes, sir, God, I've been with Moses for 40 years. I've seen all the miracles. There ain't nothing more you need to say to me. Listen, Jesus had to obey God in friendship. Do you remember when I'm your man, Lord? But he said, He said, what you say? So now God says, now I imagine God turned to Michael and Ariel and said, did you see Jesus ask this food? And then Ariel said, yeah, God, I think you need to tell him a few things. So then God comes back and he says, Joshua, I asked you the first time, now I'm telling you that tomorrow you're going to take these people and I need you to be strong and courageous. Oh, I don't know, Lord. Where's Moses again? I can't find his body. Where'd you go with him, Jesus? Where is he? Can't find him. He gone. And Joshua still didn't say, yes, sir, I got your back, God. I'm your man. What you need me to do? I've seen you for 40 years work miracles. I trust you, but I just need to obey you right now. But old Joshua's flesh said, oh God, I just can't do it, I'm scared. Where's Moses again, God? Where is he? Why did you take him in the nighttime? I don't know where he's at. And then God turned around and said, come here, Jesus. I'm really getting tired of this fool. Jesus said, Father, just tell him. Joshua, haven't I commanded you to be strong and of courage? Now I'm telling you, take these people across tomorrow and do what I've told you to do. Yes, sir, I will. Golly, just 3 times? But the thing is, Joshua was scared. Joshua didn't have that friend of God relationship that Moses had. Joshua was uncertain about his confidence in God. He was unsure about who he was in God. But even in all his misunderstanding, Joshua needed to still do what God has told him to do. So after you have doubt, after you lose hope, after you become crippled, after you complain, after you run and hide, I try to run and hide. After you go through all the things you want to do, guess what, people? You still gotta go do what God tells you to do. You still must choose, 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 choose. Choose ye this day. You still must choose to obey God in faith. That's the key word. That's the key statement. We have to choose to still obey God in faith. Not in your own faith, in His faith. And He says that you'll be like a tree planted by the river, whose roots go into the water. And when the heat comes up, you will not get scorched. You will not fear long months of drought, wondering, God, why have you left me? Where are you? Those droughts won't bother you. Your leaves will stay green, full of life. A green leaf means a leaf that has life, has vitality, has water, has oxygen, has sun, has nutrients. And your leaves will stay green all year round. And those that will come will be filled by you. All because you trust and obey God by faith. Amen? I know I like how that promise ties right into my sermon. I'm like, ooh, that's good. Every time you trust God's wisdom and do whatever He says, even when you don't understand. See, Joshua didn't understand. What do you mean? He probably didn't even know where Moses was going. God started the season and said, Joshua, get up. Your servant Moses is dead. That means God told Joshua first, and he told him face to face. You have to trust in God's wisdom and do whatever he says. Even if you don't understand, you depend upon your friendship with God. That God is your friend, and he will never steer you in a dark alley. He will never lead you astray. He just gave you a promise that he will take care of you. So in your obedience, you have to have great trust, knowing that no matter what God asks you to do, he will see it through. He will go before you, he will be there with you, and he will be there after you to have your back. Jesus came out of praying on the Garden of Gethsemane, and he rebuked the disciples and says, watch and pray that you enter not temptation. And then he went and prayed again. Guess what he said? He said, Father, in Luke 22 and 42, he said, if you are willing, please take this cup of suffering. There's going to be times when you are that tree planted in a river. And there's going to be times when the sun comes up and you're going to think that you're getting ready to get scorched. You're going to think that you're getting ready to melt and burn up and dry up and rot away. But that's when you got to remember that even Christ, in his suffering, cried out to God. And he said, Father, if you're willing, take the suffering. You know what? Because Jesus went through it, all those that will live godly will suffer. We gotta go through it. That's why I'm telling you, ain't no rapture. Raptures is for punks that think they ain't gonna have to go through nothing. So they just gonna catch a plane, the red eye, we call it the red eye. I'm catching the red eye in heaven tonight. I seen the Antichrist coming, I'm running. Jesus didn't book me a flight, I got first class too. What you gonna do? Well, I'm gonna stay here, I'm gonna be that tree planted by. I'm gonna be that end time warrior that's gonna stand for God. I ain't looking for a way out. I'd rather die with Jesus. I'm going to suffer just like he did because I don't want anything less than he did for me. Because Jesus says, if you love me, then you are my friend. Imagine everybody just caught the red eye to the rapture. Who's going to be here to minister? Often we don't associate obedience with friendship. Listen to this, this is a very good point. Often you don't associate obedience with friendship because you know why? You don't feel like you have to be obedient to a friend. But that's where we miss it. That's where we miss it. Was not Christ obedient to the end when he asked God, if this is possible, take this suffering away from me? But then he came back and he said, but yet I want your will to be done, not mine. Because God, not only are you my Father, but you are my friend. And I hold on. You don't think Jesus knew Jeremiah 17:7? He did. He knew all the scriptures. And he knew that God would plant him as a tree planted by. He knew that he had to have all the confidence and the trust to go through whatever God had told him to do. And even though when his flesh wanted to run and hide like Joshua, like Jeremiah, like Jonah, he stood strong. And he said, God, not my will, but yours. He says, because I'm your friend, and I trust you, and I'm going to obey you to see this through. Imagine if Christ did not go through with it. We wouldn't be here. And we definitely wouldn't be Christianity. Imagine if he didn't trust God enough. Now God, you said you're going to bring me back to life, right? In 3 days? Yeah, Jesus, but you're going to have to die. What else I'm going to have to? They're going to beat you. They're going to spit on you. They're going to kick you. They're going to betray you. They're going to whoop the skin off of you. They're going to ridicule you. They're going to call you fake and phony because you love me. They're going to curse you, and they're going to kill you. And you're going to have to go to war. And you're going to have to trust me, son. And I have a plan. But the plan won't work if you don't trust and obey. John 3:16, it says, for God so loved the world, God loved us, that he gave us something that he only had one of, that was of him. And then his son obeyed his father because he loved us also. You see, we think that being obedient to our boss, our parents, our superior person of authority, but we never think about being obedient to a friend because we love them. Sometimes the request is too much. A friend may say, can you tarry with me all night? My husband died, and I don't want to be alone. And that's a request. And some of us will say, well, yeah, but I really can't, but I'll pray for you. But being obedient in friendship will be that person to say, yes, I'll wait with you 2 or 3 days until we see you through this. Because you are that tree that is planted God, whose leaves are green. And you will never wither because God will always give you that life to continue to live. Jesus made it clear that obedience is a condition of intimacy. Obedience is a condition of intimacy. If you want to be close to God, it is obedience will bring you intimately closer with him. It is one of the conditions that we have to have, because if you don't, you will never know God. The topic that we're talking about is becoming a friend of God. When you become God's friend, you become one with him. You become intimate with him. So how do we get there? Through our obedience. It's one of the conditions to become intimate with God. God cannot be intimate with you if you don't obey him. Some of us wives, I tell my wife, baby, make me an egg sandwich. She goes, I don't want to make you an egg sandwich, you make your own egg sandwich. I said, but I like the way you make yours. The cheese is melted and the meat's just right and the egg is perfect. I'm working it. She knows I'm being worked. She knows she's being worked. But yet she's obedient. Not because she's my wife, because she loves me. And even though she tells me, get off your lazy fat butt and get it yourself, in her mind, you be getting on my nerves, my last nerves. Jesus, what you gonna do with your pastor? He think he's a king. He need to lose a couple pounds too, that way he can get up and go make his own sandwich. That's all right, Flo. Because I'll be reading your mind. But I don't change my requests. I say, please. Come on, baby. Don't you love me? And because she's my friend, and because she loves me, she goes and do what I ask her to do. It's the same way with God. If she said no, guess what I would do? Get it for me yourself, make it myself. I know how to cook. I was just seeing if I can get away with it. Listen, Jesus made it clear that our obedience is a condition of intimacy with God. He said in this in John 15 and 14, he says, you are my friends if you do what I command. That's a condition. He says, if you want to be a friend of mine, you have to do what I command. And then he says in John 14:23, and this is our theme scripture through this whole thing. He says, if anyone loves me, loves me, loves me, loves me, loves me, loves me. If anyone loves me, he will keep my words. And my Father will love him, and we will come and make our home with him. You see, our obedience is a condition of our intimacy. You can cry, you can complain, you can do like Moses, you can do like Abraham, you can wrestle like Jacob with God. You can say, God, why are you so mean? Why, God? I don't want to go do this, God. Why? But you still have to obey. And if you obey God, if you obey him out of love, not out of wretched fear, if you obey him out of love, God says that him and Jesus will come and make a home with you. In the King James Version it says abode with you, which means to make a home. That means you guys will become intimate. Not in a way that you only conceive intimacy, not in the flesh, intimate in the spirit. Where you guys know each other. You see, to be called a friend of God, you will know the mind of Christ. And Christ will know your mind. God will know that I can trust you. I can trust you. I know. What did he say about Job to the devil? Well, have you considered my faithful servant, Job? And the devil says, yes, take your protection from him and I'll have him curse you to your face. But God knew that Job would be obedient to him all the days of his life. Because Job was called a friend of God. Listen, we obey God not out of duty. And I said that like a soldier, they don't have a choice. A soldier signs up and says this: I will serve the government and the President of the United States with my life. And as we sign that line, we don't read the fine print that says he only has to feed us one time a day and give us 1 hour of sleep. That's his contract. So when you start whining and complaining that you're in general quarters, or you in a war situation for 72 hours, and you've only had 1 meal and 3 hours of sleep, they always have to throw it up in your face, but this is what you signed up for, son. So stop your whining, stop your complaining, and go do what I told you to do. Take that hill. Charge. Prepare for battle. But our life walk with God is not compared to that. We don't obey God out of duty. That's for the soldiers. We don't obey God out of fear either. Fear being the emotion of being afraid. God don't want you to be afraid. He says he hasn't given you a spirit of fear. So why would he want you to have fear? He says, but I've given you a spirit of love, joy, and a sound mind. Fear is not of me, fear is of the enemy. You're not to fear me because I don't want someone fearing me. I want someone to love me. And if you love me, you will respect me. And if you love me, you will obey me. And if you love me, you will trust me. So where is fear in all that? We got to twist it. Because somebody that started a church, said this is how you serve God. And so now we have religion. Religion produces fear. Relationship produces intimacy. Get it? It's real simple. Religion produces fear. Relationship produces intimacy. Which would you rather have? I choose intimacy. I choose relationship. And then in my relationship, if my wife asks me to do something, I'll be happy to do it. In my relationship with my kids, if they say, Dad, can you do this for me? I'll be happy to do that for them. Because I love them first. And we go back to John 14:23. If you love me, you will keep my commands. And me and my Father will come and make a home with you. We don't serve God out of compulsion. Compulsion means this: a feeling of being forced to do something. Oh man, I can name all kinds of religions I came out of where I had this feeling that I was forced to pray an hour. I was forced to do street evangelizing. I was forced to give you money. I was forced to come to church. I was forced at the gospel of Jesus Christ. Told, open your mouth, take it. Now swallow it. There, now you're a robot. Now go to church. Yes, sir. God don't want you forced to do anything. It is totally contradicting to his character. He doesn't force you to get saved, does he? So why is he going to force you after you get saved to do all the do's and don'ts? Paul says that I want to do, I find myself not doing it, but I still can't do it because I'm confused. Well, God just forced you to do it, you don't have to worry about not doing it. No. Paul has solved the choice. And he fights with his flesh and his spirit by trying to serve God. That's enough force for us to deal with already. But God is a refuge for us. He says, freely I give, freely you receive. He doesn't force anything upon us. He's definitely not going to force a relationship upon you. Compulsion. Never do anything out of compulsion, not even give your tithes and offering. God tells you to let every man and woman set out what they decide to give. And he says, because that way there's no compulsive giving. You see, through the faith teaching and the prosperity teaching, compulsively I gave $1,700 and I only had $1,701 in my account. I gave up my rent, I gave up my groceries, and I had 3 kids. Because Benny Hinn tricked me. He wooed me. He swayed me. And he preached the gospel that made me feel forced to give all that I had. And I'm still waiting for my 40 acres and a mule. God don't want you to do anything out of compulsion. You know why? Because compulsion is a feeling. A feeling. God is not a feeling, okay? That's why some of you come to church, because sometimes you feel like a nut. And some of you don't come to church because sometimes you don't. Okay? You be riding on that feeling. Look, you wake up, I don't feel like going to church today. Yeah, baby, I need that egg sandwich again. And boy, give me the remote control. Football coming on. Oh, hi, Jesus. Compulsion. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Be consistent. Embrace it. Compulsion comes with religion. Consistency comes with relationship. Are you going to be consistent and tell your wife you love her and come home every night and pay your bills? Of course you are. But if you were a compulsive man, some nights the strip club would get you rent. Some nights you wouldn't even come home. Because you do everything by feeling. When we commit to God, there is no more compulsion in our life. It's a commitment. When we say, with this ring I do marry this woman, that I vow to love her for better or worse, through sickness and health. It's the same thing when we marry Christ. Are we not his brides? Is he not our groom? So when we marry him, we have the same commitment. We didn't do it out of compulsion. And if you did, you need to back up and start all over into relationship. Don't bring religion into relationship. I know I got 2,050 years of detoxing to do about religion. At least I'm willing to do it. To set you free about the lie of hypocrisy. You see, religion is a hypocrisy of relationship. It is the total opposite of what is true. Religion says you can be hot or cold. Relationship says, I'd rather have you hot or cold, because if you lukewarm, I'll spit you out of my mouth. But religion says, it's okay, just come to church and act like you love them, and everything will be okay. Compulsiveness. We obey God not out of duty. A soldier does that because he has no choice. Not out of fear. It's an emotion of being afraid. Nor do we do it out of compulsion. Compulsion is a feeling of being forced to do something. But because we love him, and we trust that he knows what is best for us.
Yes.
We follow Christ out of gratitude.
Yes.
I follow Christ out of gratitude. Not compulsion, not fear, but out of gratitude. Ooh, well, what is this about this gratitude? We follow Christ out of gratitude. Gratitude is the degree of excellence. I follow Christ with a degree of excellence because I don't have no fear, because I'm not a compulsive person in my relationship with him, and because I trust him fully and I obey him. Therefore, that equates to gratitude, and I serve him with a degree of excellence in my gratitude. Or therefore, it's not called gratitude. So if you're grateful and you have gratitude that Jesus Christ died for you and you accepted him as your Lord and Savior, then you only serve him out of a degree of excellence. That means, God, I determined to get this right. Not out of works, not out of deeds, not out of compulsion, but out of love. Love lifted me when nothing else, drugs, cocaine, strip clubs, sex could help. Love lifted me. You need to learn that song. It means something. And then the word gratitude says a degree of excellence, a quality of being thankful. Oh, your thankfulness has a quality to it? Nothing but the finest things for you, Jesus. See, if you're not really saved, then these don't mean nothing to you. But if God has taken you out of the miry clay, if he saved your life and delivered you, this is the appreciation. This is your expression. This is the gratefulness that you have. It's like fire shut up in your bones. It's something that you can't explain, but that you know that Jesus came and delivered you in your time of trouble.
Yes, yes.
Like Mama Vicky preached last Sunday, the 10 lepers, but only one of them had gratitude. Oh, but gratitude gets deeper. Jesus found out that it's a degree of excellence, coupled with the quality of thankfulness and a readiness to show kindness to Christ.
Oh, yeah.
Kindness. Jesus, I'm so grateful that you saved me. I just love you. Jesus, is there anything that I can do for you? I just want to show you my kindness. And Jesus says, yes. I've commanded you to love your neighbor as yourself. First, my second greatest commandment. See, if we have a kindness, we ought to hate the world right now from a so-called Christians. Think about that. Where is the kindness of your gratitude that you say? I know it is. If you have no relationship with God, then that's the kind of religion you're going to display. A conditional one.
Yes, go ahead.
What color is your skin? How educated are you? Are you allowed in this church? I thought we was all Christians. Well, you don't have the right credentials to be in here. Did you study at this school? Did you study at that school? What does that have to do with us all being broken and needing repair of Christ? What does it have to do with you wanting a relationship with God? Nothing. Kindness. Every Christian, from a Republican to a Democrat, to a skinhead, to a Ku Klux Klan, to a Black Lives Matter, is missing kindness. If we had kindness of Christ, there wouldn't be such a despair of dissension and racial discrimination and hatred among us. There's no kindness. Therefore, I question you, are you really saved?
Go ahead.
And do you have a relationship with God, or are you being compulsive and being a religious person? The other definition of gratitude is to show appreciation for and to return the kindness to others. See, gratitude will keep you relationally right with Christ. Don't ever not be thankful when you go to point the finger or to judge somebody else because of their circumstance. Or when we spiritual people judge a non-spiritual person because we have religion because somebody told us that we were a deacon, we were a pastor, we were an elder. But yet we lack gratitude and relationship in our own life. That's why Christ created this saying, don't worry about the speck in your brother's eye. Worry about the beam in your eye. A speck and a beam. A speck and a beam. My goodness. Wow. Just remember that when you walk out of relationship in obedience and trust in God, and you leave your gratitude at home on the shelf, and you put on your religion. I'm a Christian. You go, you stinky and you go. I don't like none of you. Yeah. What happened to gratitude? Kindness to others, obedience, long suffering, patient, kindness, the gifts of the Spirit. Where did them go? Remember this, you ungrateful beings. All your good deeds are as filthy rags to Christ. That'll keep you hungry. We want relationship building, walking, preaching, grateful, gratitude, hungry Christians, trusted, confident, planted by a river whose leaves never turn any color but green, who stands to show kindness and gratitude to others as we walk along this road. Not pompous, arrogant, religious, stiff-necked, bitter vipers that have nothing good to say to anybody, that has no relationship, but call themselves Christians. We got enough of them in the House and the Senate. Good old Christians. God has caused you to be different. That's why you get this sermon. Think about how many people in the world don't get this sermon of reality of quote-unquote keeping it real with Jesus. Because people's agenda doesn't allow them to keep it real. Because they have to march to this run of religious and man doctrines. If the kettle's black, I'm not going to tell you it's blue. I'm going to say it's black. And if you don't do what you're supposed to do, you're going to be black and blue. All right? Let's pray. Father, we thank you for the word. We thank you for obedience in you, Father. We thank you for, you always seem to find a way to express the reality of our relationship with you. Father, you seem to always find a way to bring it to our rational thinking where we can understand it, where it can be applied in a practical use in our lives. Father, we thank you that you break down the spirit of religion. Father, I know it is your heart and your desire for relationship. Relationship. Being my friend. Allowing me to be your friend. Knowing me. Trusting me. Having confidence in me. Give me everything. Don't hold nothing back. Give me the good. Give me the bad. And give me the ugly. I can handle it. Father, as we go closer to find out how to become your friend in obedience, let's gravitate to your relational purpose for our life. Father, to be called your friend is to know you. And there's nothing more important in my heart to be giving these people to know you outside of religion, but to know you in a relationship of gratitude to you. So Father, I pray for protection. I pray that as they leave, that the devil wouldn't come and steal these seeds that were planted in their heart. But Father, that their seeds would be like Jeremiah 17, that would go forth to bear much fruit. Let us be a blessing of gratitude this week as we go to work, as we celebrate our holiday. Father, let us, Jesus, let us just be grateful. Father, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that I am blessed. I am alive. I have breath. I have health. I have life. I have another day to fix all the errors of my ways of yesterday. And I am grateful to show kindness to every stranger, every homeless person, every person not of my color and my skin and my attitude and my accomplishments, but to be like you, Christ, in all ways, and to trust and obey that this is what you want from me. In Jesus' name, amen.